When I was a child, everything was magical, full of mystery and the unknown. I read hundreds of books, the library my haven, my home. Hours upon hours, night and day, I read and got lost in texts. They supplied me with adventures, secret journeys, fun, and fairy tales. I absorbed the words like a sponge, engrossed in paper, previously trees, and entered my own little world. Reminiscing about our childhood is what makes up our identity. Brown includes the ability to recall and reflect, helps older adults remember who they used to be in order to help them define their identity in the current moment. Childhood was so simple. In the article Happy Childhood Memories Linked to Better Health Later in Life, Chalpick and Edelstein include we found that good memories seem to have a positive effect on health and well-being. We will discover how childhood was easy and life became more challenging as we grow up. Childhood Dreams Part 1 by Sarah Bryant. In my childhood dreams, fairies were my friends. We played hopscotch in stumps of old trees, jumped across ponds, using lily pads as our stepping stones. We stopped to talk to frogs and toads who sung in chorus. As we made our way along, we threw leaves in the air with glee. I danced in the rain with pixies and elves. Gnomes and leprechauns gently teased. No hate or malice is allowed here, just happiness and lots of cheer. Together we played hide and seek. The invisible creatures cheated, of course. That's not fair, we all cried. It's only a game, they replied. We forgive them, it's all part of their charm. We chased each other through dense woodlands and trees. The bright round moon giving us some light. It was dark and spooky, but exciting at the same time. We were happy, having fun. The pixies were a bit naughty. Used to hide the keys to doors, but we were all magical in my dreams. We walked straight through them. Keys were just objects. We became like shadows, shimmying through walls like ghosts and ghouls. The pixies played tricks on us. They lay in wait behind trees, jumping out on springy green legs. They frighten us with a start. The fairies reprimand them, but pixies do not care. The tiny creatures laugh their pointed shoes off, and they run along to another dark place to startle us once again. The gnomes are round-bodied and happy, all dressed the same. In floppy hats, wide belts, stand in your garden perfectly still. They guard it from all things bad with pride. But they hide a secret as well. They run around your garden, moving objects from place to place. They leapfrog, knock on your door, and run away, and you will never hear them or see them again. They are invisible to most that play. The gnomes chase the bees away. They want the honey for themselves to eat on toast or give Winnie the Pooh. They guard the flowers like neighborhood watch, miniature security guards less than a foot tall. They stop deathly still, looking like statues, as soon as they know you are there. The garden is a haven for birds and animals alike, and the tiny magical creatures keep everything so bright. The fairies give it color, the pixies provide aroma, witches make the potions to fertilize the earth. The sun shines down to bless it, making all look nice. Everyone helps in their own little way, and at night it comes alive. Fairies would take me to their home, deep within dense bushes they live. At the bottom of an old tree, a tiny door is hidden in the stump. I shrink so I fit in the door. Oh my days, it's so pretty inside. A never-ending cave full of twinkling lights, jewels gleam and shine within the walls. The floor is glittering with grains of gold. Bright shining star challenge the blackness of the night. The paths are lined with flowers, the colors of the rainbow in full bloom. The fairies and I skip along arm in arm to a kingdom far beyond, to get from place to place. And back down the other side, a roller coaster of dreams, you could say the little leprechauns help us. They are our guide. In my childhood dreams, fairy tales came true. I met Cinderella at the ball, looking beautiful in her gown, a pale shade of baby blue. It sparkled as she danced, twirling around along the ground, swirling as her Prince Charming swung her around. In tune to the music sung by her friends who had helped her in the past, when her life was hard, she scrubbed floors till she was sore. While her sisters laughed and full of scorn, I met her fairy godmother too, floating in on a cloud to attend a lace dress of pure white with diamonds that glistened. It sparkled like a million lights. She was elegant, spoke softly and slowly. She was calming and had grace. Her hair was white as snow, her eyes as blue as ice. Her magic wand twinkled as she cast her spells of love, conjuring all things nice. Snow White was there with 7 dwarfs, of course. Grumpy attended, he didn't look happy. To go, I suspect he was forced. Bashful met a beautiful girl. He was too shy to ask her out. He had met Cinderella before. He loved her, but from afar. But she was happy. He was happy. She was happy. With her new groom, the prince, they looked beautiful together and shine like stars. Aladdin wasn't invited because of the 40 thieves. The tortoise got there early, just plodding along with no rush. The hare raced past him, but wore himself out. Plenty of time he could afford. He had a quick sleep. The tortoise strolled past and arrived at the castle before the hare was late, had a very red face, and always in a hurry. He never ever learns and always underestimates. Jack climbed up his beanstalk instead of the stairs because the castle was so tall. At the top of the beanstalk were where giants lived, the biggest ones of all. He arrived with a present, more beans wrapped in gold. They looked like sweets with wrappers shiny and bright. Cinderella was impressed and she smiled. She asked Jack if she could use his beanstalk. He said, "Of course, be my guest." She walked over to her ugly sisters, told them stories of great riches and the rest, of jewels and princes too. Of kingdoms they can own, their greed will be the end of them. Their fate they could not know. We all laughed silently. As the ugly sisters climbed the dents, their screams heard by kingdoms beyond. As Cinderella took her revenge, using a woman's axe as her aid, she chopped the beanstalk down by half. Her sisters fell, the giants landing on top of them, squashing them. Her revenge made. Goldilocks was there with the three bears, Daddy, Mummy, and Baby too. They didn't like the party food, and there was no porridge in any bowl. Baby Bear started crying until the fairy godmother came along. She waved her twinkling magic wand again. 3 bowls of porridge appeared in an instant. The bears tucked in happily, but Goldilocks had to decline. She told me she's sick of porridge. I told her I felt the same way. Inclined, we all danced the night away, happily took turns to fly with Peter Pan. It was way too late for the kids to be up, but Wendy sneaked out anyway. She flew there with Peter in the dark. Her hair was messed up. The wind blew it wild, but she was happy to be there. Cinderella was her friend. She wouldn't have missed it for the world.